name is Kim Higgins. I am a paramedic with Austin Travis County EMS. I'm a congenital heart disease survivor. I've had open heart surgery several times. I am now a proud cardiac arrest survivor. As of September 11th, 2024, I am a sister, I'm a twin, I'm an aunt. You know, there's so much that I could say that I do, but it would not have been possible to do this without CPR in the field and calling 911 early. I guess we start from the day that everything happened. It was September 11th, 2024, and I don't remember anything from this day. This is all what my parents and my family have told me, but I was working out in the field with my mom after being gone all day, running errands, doctor's appointments, hanging out at a fire station, and apparently I was not complaining of anything, and we were working in the 10 acres that my parents have with a tractor, digging some fence post holes. I was literally standing there, and my mom went to go back up the tractor. She looked up, couldn't see me, and then looked around out the door, saw me face down in the dirt. She was worried like maybe I hurt my ankle. Anyway, so she yelled at me. I didn't move, so she's like, oh, I definitely need to call 911, something's wrong. She finished back up the tractor, turned it off, yelled at me again, and I didn't move. And she ran over to me, and she's this tiny little woman. And she somehow miraculously got me rolled over, realized I was not breathing and didn't have a pulse. Luckily, she had already called 911, so 911 was on the phone. She's a retired nurse from 40 years ago, so she luckily knew what to do. She's had CPR training and all that. She did CPR on me for almost 13 minutes because where they're at in the county, we had to wait for a farther fire engine. There's just the logistics behind it. And once fire and EMS got there, they did one round of CPR. So roughly 15 minutes of being in cardiac arrest. They shocked me. I was in shockable rhythm, and I got pulses back, and luckily I maintained my pulses. They transported me to the hospital and put me in a medically induced coma for, I think, 4 or 5 days. And that was really hard for my family because they didn't know if I was going to be neurologically intact, what my life was going to look like, if I'd be able to come back to work. And luckily 5 days later, they woke me up, and you know, it just goes to show that early CPR, early 911 recognition, and you know, having the right resources makes a difference. Because if I had been without oxygen for 13 minutes, I would have 100% not be here, back at work, being able to function, being part of, you know, family memories and trips and stuff. So it's gonna be great. Sorry. Matthew was like, I was good, until I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to tell Braden, his kid, that he can't go see Kiki? Okay. I've not cried in months of telling this story. But, you know, without that CPR, I would have been a vegetable. It would have been such a big toll on my family having to take care of me, you know, and that was really hard for my family, sitting there for the 4 or 5 days while I was in a coma. Like, not knowing what my outcome was going to be. And so we all have trauma from it. There's a little different than mine because it was like Ash went to sleep and I woke up and I don't remember anything. But remember when I finally, you know, realized what happened, I was like, wait, what? Like, never would have thought in a million years that that is something that could happen to me. I was 38. You know, I had some heart issues from birth, but you know, I was feeling great. I had lost weight. You know, 2 weeks before I was hiking 3 miles in Alaska. So, you know, literally out of nowhere. And it's been a wild ride. So my big push in my life from here on out is to promote early CPR, even before EMS gets there, because that was vital to my survival and my success. So being a paramedic in the city, it's hard to see that our bystander CPR rates are super low, significantly lower than the national average. And that hurts my soul because, you know, had I not had bystander CPR, I would not be here. And I want to make a push to get as many people in the community trained in CPR, because at some point you will need to help somebody. And if you don't know, you know, you're greatly affecting someone's outcome from a cardiac arrest standpoint. And now being a cardiac arrest survivor, it's super important to me. And it's a 30-minute class, but it can make such a difference in life or death.